fantastic at all. It's 20 to 5, and this is Greg James on Radio 1. I will play Tyler James in a second, also Matrix and Future Bound, Magnetic Arse, and now it's time for Secret Teacher, the next instalment. Last week, Secret Teacher got in a right pickle. She had an angry outburst at a kid and made that child cry. Previous week, she was sculpting snowmen in the style of the headmaster and put snow boobs on the headmaster. She was caught having a crafty cigarette with Mrs. Geography, one of her best friends, in a car, tried to pass it off as steam. She's not had a great start to the winter term. And Secret Teacher is a real teacher. She's a newly qualified teacher who started in September, and the idea behind this whole thing was to find out just what happens in the mind of a new teacher. Because we all know what it's like to start school. It's nerve-wracking, it's horrible. Everyone's bigger than you, everyone's older than you don't know what you're doing. You think, oh, I was the big kid at my last school, now I'm the little fish. So what we wanted to do was tap into the psyche of a newly qualified teacher. And we've done that. The identity of this teacher will remain as anonymous as we possibly can. Some names and details have been changed to avoid detection, and the voice is, of course, an actor. Martin in Basingstoke actually says, I just wondered who reads The Secret Teacher, Greg, because she sounds really nice. Yeah, that's just Roz from The Office. She sounds quite teachery. And you'll hear the next instalment after Tyler James. Tyler James and Kano, that is Worry About You, and it's 4:45. Time for the next instalment of Secret Teacher. As I said, last time we left her, she'd had an angry outburst and made a small child cry, which is not a great end to the week. So let's find out what's going on episode 12 of Secret Teacher.
Well, I've been a bit naughty today. The headmaster wanted a crackdown on students using mobile phones in a lesson. Students don't pass notes anymore. They just text each other. Where's the skill in that?
No, we've talked about this before. We've talked a couple of weeks ago about schools that now have Twitter and Facebook pages that you can retweet and stuff if the school's closed for snow. The school will text parents if the homework's not been handed in, or they get an email saying, Greg was late to class today. They get emails now. What is this? You have to check the website if there's a snow day. What a world we live in. This is I went to the school in the dark ages, it seems.
Harry was in my lesson today and was staring down at his crotch and smiling for the first few minutes of the lesson. He was either being very strange or blatantly sending a text message. Luckily, it was the latter. I took his phone off him and put it in my pocket, informing him he could collect it at the end of the day, much to Harry's dismay.
Confiscation is classic teacher, and it's the worst. It always has been and always will be. Whether you had your hoop and stick confiscated in the Victorian ages, or you had your mobile phone confiscated today. Or in my case, when I went to school in the early 2000s, then I had my dad's pager confiscated. It was a disaster. So I took it in for the day. I didn't tell him about it. And I took the pager in, thought, yeah, hey guys, in the playground, hey guys, check out my pager. And the teacher clocked it, and I never saw it again. Alan was furious. I was a live wire at school. What can I say? Anyway, confiscation, the worst. Also, teachers don't seem to realise how precious these things are. It's like festival bands or even friendship bands. Not that I had any, but they would cut them. They would just come and go, right, take that stupid festival band off. It's not Glastonbury anymore. Grow up. And they just cut it. And you go, no, my memories gone. So Harry's phone is, it's gone. And he had to collect it.
The end of the day came and Harry failed to show. He must have forgotten. So I kept the phone safe and headed off to the pub for a midweek gin with the NQTs.
Yeah, well, this is a newly qualified teacher. I feel like she's going off the rails slowly.
I don't usually drink during the week, but after 3 gins, I was feeling a little bit tipsy, as was Miss Geography, who thought she'd take videos of herself on my phone doing impressions of the head teacher and some of the students. It was hilarious. I do a mean Harry impression.
The thing is, Mrs. Geography and Secret Teacher are best friends, but I feel like they're thick as thieves and they are a bad influence on each other. And this is what kids would do. If they were in a class and they were messing around, the teacher would separate them. This is what I think needs to happen. The headmaster needs to separate these two.
However, the next morning at school was horrendous, and teaching with a hangover shall never be done again.
Awful. Kids always know. Kids always know if your teacher smells like polos, they've been smoking. The kids, they're not stupid, you know?
I gave Harry back what I thought was his phone and had a quick look at mine to delete the videos from last night.
Oh my God.
Horror. I'd accidentally given Harry my phone in my hungover haze.
This is the moment where the blood just drains from your face. And I mean, imagine that he'd seen the photos or the videos from that night before. It would have been in slow motion. No, get the phone back. I'm worried about our secret teacher, I really am.
I quickly shouted at him again, for no reason, and took the phone off him. I switched them. Crisis averted.
You know what? I just feel like this crisis should never have occurred. I feel like we need to stage some sort of intervention with secret teacher. I feel like she's off the rails. The rails are so far away now. She's just a train running along the field. She needs help. I think our secret teacher. Is there anything we can do? Maybe I'll call her.
Lessons for the class. No drinking on a school night. And if you have the same phone as 11-year-old, it's time for an upgrade.
Absolutely. That's obvious. Or just buy a pager. They were all the rage.